Cable 13 Sports and McCaw Cablevision of Syracuse presents the 1987 New York State High School Wrestling Championships. Brought to you by Pulvinite. The toughest name in mats is proud to present the 1987 New York State Wrestling Championships. For over 25 years, Pulvinite has provided the wrestling community with high-quality, safe wrestling mats. When you think of safety, think Pulvinite mats. From Tom Schlendorf and John Harris to Bob Medina and the Bannock brothers. From 1963 to 1987, 25 years of wrestling in New York State, and it arrives here tonight at the Onondaga County War Memorial for the 25th edition, the silver anniversary edition of Championship Wrestling in New York State. And good evening, everybody. Jim Gilchrist along with the East Syracuse Manoa High School wrestling coach, Doug Hartman. And Doug, it's good to have you along. This is the pinnacle. This is where the wrestlers want to be at the end of the year.
Started back in November, and it's been 4 long months, but this is where they want to be, right here in the finals of the New York State tournament.
And how does it end up that these wrestlers arrive at this point?
It's through a lot of hard work and dedication, and they do a lot of wrestling.
This is a great community as far as wrestling here at the War Memorial. They've gone outside the War Memorial to Utica and to Rochester, a couple other places, but this is where the wrestling championships should be.
Reed Hawk is our state chairman, and he does one heck of a job putting on a real nice tournament here. It's well organized. Things run very smoothly.
A couple of bouts that we'll be looking at this evening. One interesting bout would be Jeff Prescott. He's looking for a 3rd state title.
He's going against Kaufman from Section 11, and it's going to be a good bout, but Prescott's looked really impressive throughout this tournament.
So sit back and watch. We have a lot of bouts going on this evening. It's the finals of the New York State Wrestling Championships. It's happening here on Cable 13, and it's coming right up.
You know, it's hard work keeping in shape, but it's important to me to be the best that I can be and look the best that I can look. I don't go through all this to impress other people. I do it because I care about me. I care about my body and my health, but most importantly, I care about feeling good about myself. That's why I would never, ever take illegal drugs. You know, I've seen some people who smoke marijuana, and they seem to lose pride in their appearance. They lose their motivation to achieve. And let's face it, what goes in your body eventually shows up on the outside. The bottom line is stay away from drugs, but do it because you care about yourself.
Brought to you by the New York State Public High School Athletic Association.
Okay, starting out with the 91-pound weight class, Len Combs from Madison High School in Madison, representing Section 3. He's a junior. 16 years of age with a career record of 85-8. This year he's 36-1. Up against Frank Fraunhofer from Section 2. And he goes to Salem High School. Jim Gilchrist along with Doug Hartman from the Onondaga County War Memorial. This is the New York State Wrestling Championships for 1987.
Takes a little while for these guys to get loosened up. A lot of times in the first period is just a feeling out time. They'll test moves, try different things, but they really won't be going all out.
Coombs is in the gold. Fraunhofer, representing Section 2, is in the darker or the maroon uniform. What strategy are we looking at right here, Doug?
I think, like I said, they're just trying to set each other up. He's got to get his Combs has got to get his arms in. You just saw Fraunhofer trying to go underneath him, but these guys are good. He's got to get, they're going to go out of bounds. They've got to go back in the middle here.
How much does that come into play as far as defensive strategy? Do sometimes the wrestlers want to go out of bounds?
Well, there's a lot of times when they're near the edge and they're either going to get a reversal or close to it, and they'll work their way out of bounds so they don't lose the points or don't get put on their back. The sideline can be used, but a lot of times officials, especially at this level, will call them for stalling or intentionally going out of bounds, which you could lose a point for. The referee just called a stalemate, and that just means that neither wrestler is going to gain any advantage from that point, and it didn't look like they're going to get out of it, so he stops it and has a fresh start.
40 seconds to go in period number 1. periods are 2 minutes each. 3 periods for, unless they go into overtime, of course, for these wrestling championships. 30 seconds to go, and each wrestler just feeling each other out right now.
It seems that way. Neither wrestlers, again, he calls stalemate, and he's warning Green, which is Lenny Combs. He's the home scorer for stalling. That means he's got to be more aggressive. He's got to make some type of attempt to get a takedown.
Combs is wearing the green anklet, and that's the reference as far as colors go. Referee's wearing green and red wristbands, and Combs is wearing the green in this match.
It's a nice shot underneath. I don't know if there's time to get anything out of it. Buzzer rang before any points were given out.
And now they'll flip that coin. Doug, talk about that for us.
All it is a coin. It's got a red side and a green side. He'll flip it, and then he'll give a choice, whoever gets a choice. They chose neutral for this period. I'm not so sure that's a strategy, but apparently they feel that they can get a takedown.
And that's a relatively new rule.
That's only 2 years old now. You can choose neutral as your choice rather than just a top or bottom position.
Both wrestlers doing a lot of standing up right now.
I think they're trying to set each other up. Notice the arms are going in and out. They're reacting and countering each other, so it doesn't seem like they're doing anything, but I can guarantee they're getting tired. Nice drag by.
Fraunhofer's got 2 points, the first 2 of the match. He's on top now.
He's trying to throw those legs in a double grapevine, which he just got, and to break him down.
Fraunhofer's got 2 gold medals from the 1986 Empire State Games. Combs was last year, or rather 1983's AAU national champion.
He's trying to tilt him here. Notice he's got the arms on there and elevating with the legs. Referee's counting, so that means there's going to be back points.
Fine move that time by Frank Fraunhofer.
It was a nice tilt. Referee signaling 2 points for back points. He exposes back past the 45-degree angle. Referee counts. If he gets only 1 count, which means and a guy gets off his back, he doesn't get any points. He has to count at least 2 points and hold him there for at least 2 seconds.
4-0 the score. Fraunhofer on top with less than 30 seconds to go in period 2. This is the 91-pound weight class.
Looks like he's going to get an escape here. He needed to definitely score there. It was a nice sit out. He had a head pull over. There's not a lot of time left here, and I'm not so sure.
They go out of bounds. It's 4-1 now. Good escape that time by Combs.
He needs to actually get a score here, and there's only 8 seconds left, and it's going to be very difficult for him to do that, especially when you get this level. You don't get those quick takedowns. You have to really set him up and work him.
Okay, 3rd period on the way, and he's down by 3 points. Can he make up the difference?
The choice goes to Fraunhofer. Combs had chosen neutral, so he chooses down, and that's not real good news for Lenny, because it's easier to get an escape or reversal and score points than it is to turn a good wrestler over to his back.
So Len Combs has his work cut out for him here on the opening round match of the New York State Wrestling Championships. Fraunhofer, in his 3 previous matches to get here, has only given up 3 points. He shut out his first 2 opponents and gave up 3 points in his last meet.
Means he's a very consistent wrestler, only giving up 3 points, and he must be a good rider and very good on his feet.
They're on the way out of bounds. We'll go back to the center.
He's got to turn him over here. I'm not quite sure how he's going to do it. He doesn't, he's got to get those hand controls, break him down flat, and then work him over.
There's a nice move right there. Fraunhofer really earning this win if he turns out to win this 91-pound weight class.
It was a nice stand-up turn-in. He exploded right on the whistle, and that's a lot of times what you need to do, because sometimes you're relaxed and you're not quite ready for that whistle to blow.
5-1 the score now. Fraunhofer on top.
I don't know if Lenny has it in his move book, but he's got to get a throw of some sort here to get a 2 takedown and 2 or 3 points reversal in order to catch up on this. 5-1's 4 points is quite a bit in this level of competition.
Especially with now 1 minute to go in the match. You see the grueling faces right there.
It doesn't look like they're doing a lot, but there's a lot of muscle straining in there. They're going to be tired.
Looking for whatever edge they can get here. Fraunhofer is the leader right now, 5-1. It'll be tough for Lenny Coombs out of Madison High School to get back into this one. 30 seconds to go in the bout.
Fraunhofer smart. He's going in on Lenny. Therefore, Lenny really can't throw him. As long as he keeps good body awareness, he can give up 2 here and not be in trouble, but he can't give up 2 and 2.
It'll be really difficult for him to lose this bout, you're saying.
Right. He's going to, if he's smart, he might give up a takedown, but he can't give up 2 takedown and then also back points off it. And the best way to do it is what Frank Fraunhofer's been doing, is shoot in on Lenny Combs.
5 seconds to go. Frank Fraunhofer is going to be the 91-pound weight class champion in New York State for 1987. And look at the coaches. Tell me they aren't happy.
It's really very exciting for the coaches along with the wrestlers, because they feel they brought them along and taught them what they know. That's, it's a real thrill.
He won 2 golds just 1 year ago in the Empire State Games, and now he's back at the Onondaga County War Memorial. And Frank Fraunhofer from Salem High School in Salem, New York, representing Section 2, is the 91-pound weight class champion for 1987. Moving on to the 98-pound weight class, Jeff Hayes out of Babylon High School in Babylon, New York. He's representing Section 11. He'll be up against Mark Frisicano from East Meadow, New York. That's in Section 8. Section 8, by the way, Doug, leads in the team competition. We'll talk more about that as we go along. These 2 gentlemen.
2 Long Island schools are going at each other. It's going to be a good match. One's a junior. They're both juniors. I think we'll see a little more speed out here this time. Once again, the wrestlers are feeling themselves out, feeling each other out, I should say, and getting a test of what's going on, testing the water to make sure it's right for them.
And they'll go back to the center now.
There seems to be a lot more in the high school wrestling of the tie-ups and not the movement around. They want to go in and tie up and, like I said, test each other out. They want to be right in close contact.
Jeff Hayes is representing Section 11. He's in the blue with that black knee pad on. Mark Frisicano is in the green.
Referee signaling he locked his hands. So Frisicano will not only get a 2-point reversal, he'll also get 1 point for an illegal hold. You cannot lock your hands unless it's an pinning combination. Jeff Hayes tried to stop his reversal and he locked his hands. So therefore, score is now 3-2 in favor of Frisicano.
Jeff Hayes is a 2-time league and sectional champion. So he's no stranger to these parts.
No, not at all. Right now, Frisicano's got his hand locked in a cradle, but he's not making any movement to be able to take him over, and therefore the referee called a stalemate. Nice snapback. Referee got that 1 count out there. Not enough to get back points. And that's just changed this year. Last year, if the referee signaled just once, you got at least 2 points. Now you have to hold him there for a 2 count or supposedly 2 seconds to get back points. Should be getting this nice move.
Right there.
Nice move. Looked like he was going to get an escape. The referee waited, did not award it. And fortunately, I guess for Hayes, he didn't, because he would have gotten 2 more. It would have been a 2-for-1 sale there.
Frisicano with the green anklet gets the decision. He wants to be on top. He leads in this match 3-2, beginning period number 2. We're in the 98-pound weight class.
got his arms tied up there. I think that Hayes has to free his hands. And that's what he's trying to do underneath there. He's working on hand control, because whatever wrestler controls the hands is generally going to get points out of it or win the match.
So it's more than just a defensive strategy right there. He's trying to go on the offensive as soon as he can.
Right, he just received 1 point escape. Therefore, it ties the score up 3-3.
Nice move by Jeff Hayes.
No points are scored yet. He has to have complete control before the referee will signal and get him down to the mat. There's a signal. 2 points, takedown.
Jeff Hayes with 2 more points. Now he's in the lead. Good comeback. He's on top 5-3.
He's got the leg right in here. Looks like he's trying to get looks like a guillotine on him, getting underneath and grabbing his arm. Again, a stalemate is called. I think that happens more when you have the 2 excellent wrestlers. They're one's going to throw a move and the other's going to counter so well, and then they're going to get into a position where neither one's gaining any advantage over the other. Therefore, the referee feels it's a stalemate and give them the points. Or excuse me, no points will be awarded. They'll start fresh.
There you see a ground shot right there. Both wrestlers trying to get position on each other.
Hayes is looks like he's a good leg wrestler here. He's got to get behind now. He's got that cross face on there if he can lock it up. Otherwise, Frisicano's going to come up and either get 1 or 2 points. There's 25 seconds to go in a match.
Do any of their tactics change as far as the strategy going on through the match, or they try and do the same things right throughout?
Generally, you have a move or 2 that is good for you and works throughout, and that's the way it goes throughout the match. You might have several different advantages.
And that's over. 5-3. And they'll head into the final period. Jeff Hayes is on top after trailing early 3-2.
I think Mark Frisicano's in a good position. He's down. He can get that reversal or escape takedown, so he's just got to get out. Jeff Hayes rode him the whole time last time, so I don't know. To me, he's in a good position. That's, to get a reversal, to me, in this level of competition is much easier than trying to turn a top-notch wrestler over and get back points out of it.
Now, how much does Jeff Hayes want to just sit on this lead, or how much does he want to go ahead and try and score more points?
I always tell my wrestlers, you just keep on going, because when you start laying back and relaxing, that's when somebody scores on you. You want to keep the tone going the whole time. He's got the leg in there, and it looks like he's almost got the guillotine. He's going to get back points. If he gets underneath the head, he's going to be in trouble. They might call it potentially dangerous here with that arm. You can see that arm sticking up there. It's tough to tell, but Jeff Hayes is still in control here. He's got to free that leg. If Mark Frisicano can free that leg, he's going to get some points here. It'll be 2 reversal plus.
Less than 45 seconds to go in the bout, and the fans are getting into it now.
You can't let him take him over. He takes him over, he's going to be not only getting back points, but he's going to be in pain, because that guillotine is a painful move.
5-3. Hayes is holding on for dear life now.
He's got his legs locked there, which is good for Hayes, but Frisicano's got to clear that leg. I'm not so sure what the referee's going to do there, because neither wrestler seems to be getting any advantage to it.
10 seconds to go in the bout. Jeff Hayes looks like he's going to hold on here.
He's going to get some back points. There's a referee signaling.
Let's wait for the final count.
He gave him 3, so he must have held him there for more than 5 seconds or more.
So Jeff Hayes is going to win this bout. The 98-pound class. Jeff Hayes from Section 11 is the winner by a final score of 8-3. Jeff Hayes from Babylon High School wins the 98-pound weight class. Fans, we want to remind you the rights to this broadcast have been granted by the New York State Public High School Athletic Association, representing 778 senior high schools across the state, and the more than 500,000 boys and girls who participate annually in NYSPHSAA-sponsored athletic competition. Any rebroadcast or republication of this programming without the written consent of the NYSPHSAA is strictly prohibited. Moving on now to the 105 weight class. Representing Section 6 is Lou Rosselli from Royalton Heartland High School in Middleport. He's up against Troy Bazakis from Section 9. Bazakis, last year's youngest ever state champion in the 91-pound weight class as an 8th grader. He's a freshman this year, and the bout's underway.
That's quite an accomplishment. You stop and think of as an 8th grader coming up here to the War Memorial. He just got a takedown there, nice move. That's very impressive. He could be not only a 4-time state champion, he could actually be a 5-time state champion.
Has that ever happened before?
I believe 3 is the most. So he's definitely on his way here.
A wrestler with a lot of promise. Troy Bazakis out of Pine Bush, representing Section 9.
I've seen him. He's very impressive on his feet, and you just gave that 1 point away, but I feel he feels more comfortable on his feet, and therefore he can score points. Nice fireman's carry. Nice fireman's carry. I have a feeling Troy is going to just let him, he will not give him 2 points reversal. He'll ride him, but if he looks like he's going to get out or get a reversal, he'll give him 1 point escape and then take him down again.
Bazakis has a lot of muscle for a freshman.
He looks very mature to me. He's 15 years old, which is not, not ancient for a freshman, but he's very mature looking, and he knows his stuff. He's a very impressive wrestler so far.
Has never lost a bout. He's 65-0 for his career, and in the 85-86 season, he was 34-0. And he got to the finals with 2 pins and a 15-0 decision.
That 15-0 decision was over Page, who was in the States last year.
He's going to be someone to reckon with for a long time to come, Doug.
He's going to be around. He's going to be around. The call there that the fans are not too happy with, if you trap the ankle up around, too long or more than 5 count, then it's considered stalling. You have to let that ankle stay free.
Lou Rosselli, Doug, is in the orange on the bottom right now. Bazakis, the freshman, is in the blue. He leads 4-1 as we run out of time in period number 1 of the 105 weight class. As I mentioned, he won, Troy Bazakis won the state championship last year in 91-pound weight class, so he's moved up, as would be the case, a natural progression.
Generally, you find that the 91, 98-pound weight classes, and even the 5-pounders are your underclassmen because they're still young. They haven't physically matured all the way. So therefore, they have a chance to grow up. He is not only has good movement, he's also very quick. The way in that stand-up, he came up real fast. Looks like he's got 1 point escape right there.
Troy Bazakis on top now by a count of 5-1. Section 6 fan club right behind us, Doug.
Yep, Lou Rosselli's got to be real smart here. Nice.
That was a nice move that time. No points awarded, but fine move by Rosselli that time.
That's Troy Bazakis. It was a nice shot, but you're going to find these wrestlers of Troy's caliber are going to do that. They're going to be able to come out on their feet like a cat. They just never, they don't get taken down. They might get a good shot in there, but they're able to react to whatever goes on and come out smelling like a rose.
And they're out of bounds, so we'll take them back to the center with 1:10 to go in the second period. And Bazakis is in control.
He's definitely in control. The score is, still only, it's 5-1, but he's definitely in control.
Lou Rosselli had a bye in his first bout, and he got here with a 14-2 decision over Canny and a 9-4 decision over Ryan. So he's no slouch himself.
To get here, you have to be good.
Lou Rosselli's only a junior, but he is being scouted by Lehigh.
That's an impressive wrestling school, Lehigh is.
Enough said when you talk wrestling in Lehigh, when you put them in the same sentence.
Looks like Roselli has a cut over his eye. Injury time, anytime there's blood, injury time is not taken into effect. They have as much time as they need to stop the, generally it's a bloody nose, but any type of blood is not counted on injury time.
46 seconds left in the second period here. There you get a shot of the crowd, and we were mentioning Reed Hawk and the great job that he has done. Almost a capacity house here at the War Memorial in Syracuse. A great crowd on hand.
He's done a real nice job of publicity. He's done a real nice job in organization. And anytime you really organize, people don't mind coming. Everything started right on time for the whole weekend.
25 years of wrestling in New York State as far as the championships go. 18 of them at the War Memorial here in Syracuse, and it looks like it's going to be around here for a long time to come.
Seems to me that Lou Roselli has settled down a little bit. He doesn't seem nearly as intimidated as I thought he would be. He's countering, he's throwing good moves, and he's doing a nice job here.
Score is still 5-1. Bazakis is on top.
Nice move. Nice move. Just dragged him forward and spun behind.
Bazakis is just totally in command right now. There's the end of the second period.
He got that 1-point escape just at the time.
7-2.
And again, I'm impressed with Lou Roselli. He seems to be not intimidated. I mean, he's getting taken down, but he's also doing a nice job. I mean, he is still going after things. He's not. He hasn't given up.
What must Roselli do now? He's on the bottom here, trailing by 5 points with 2 minutes to go in the match.
I hate to say this, but he's got to get an escape and try to take him down, and even possibly let him up and take him down again. The problem with that right now is that he hasn't taken him down yet, and it doesn't. He's come close a couple times, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to do that.
Troy Bazakis is looking to become a 2-time state champion.
And only a freshman. I wonder if he wants to transfer to my school.
Doug Hartman, of course, the wrestling coach at East Syracuse Manoa High School here in Syracuse. Actually in East Syracuse, but from this location in Section 3, who, by the way, is second in the team standings as we take a look at the standings. Section 8's on top. Section 3 is in second place as of right now.
They only have 2 people. Section 3 only has 2 people in the finals, but they did a nice job in the wrestlebacks. I believe they had 7 kids going for 3rd and 4th, which is very good.
Approaching 1 minute to go in this bout. Roselli has a lot of work cut out for him. He's trailing 7-3 now. You hear the encouragement from the crowd, but it's going to take more than that to get him back into it up against a very formidable opponent, Troy Bazakis. There was a nice try there, try and get back in it. And Bazakis just keeps coming at him. He doesn't want to give up. He doesn't want to just sit on his lead.
He's not coasting, and like I said, Lou Roselli is keep on going. I granted that Troy Bacchus is going to win this match with 26 seconds to go, but Lou Roselli has kept on going and kept his composure. He's got to turn him over here, and twice, 2 different times, he's got to turn him over because he's 4 points down.
2 points each in that exchange, so it's 9-5 now with 18 seconds to go in the bout. And it looks like Troy Bazakis is going to gain a 2nd state championship. He won it last year at the 91-pound weight class. He's in 105 now. Facing Lou Roselli, it was a tough match, but it looks like Bazakis is going to come out on top. 5 seconds to go. He leads 9-5. And that's going to be the bout. Good match.
I was very impressed. That's the end of the match.
With both wrestlers.
Both wrestlers did a good job. The key was on their feet. Troy Bacchus, and you can hear the applause for the 2 wrestlers. They wrestled one heck of a match there. Troy Bacchus definitely had the upper hand on their feet.
So Troy Bazakis is the winner. He represents Section 9. He's only a freshman from Pine Bush, New York, and Pine Bush High School. He is the winner of the 105 weight class. And we'll move along now to the 112-pound weight class. Eric Kaufman from Section 11, a senior out of East Hampton High School. 18 years of age, going up against Jeff Prescott from Section 6 in Oleana High School, south of Buffalo. And Jeff Prescott is a man to watch. This senior is a state champion from 1985 and 1986. He was also the outstanding wrestler last year in this tournament.
And he's been impressive so far in this tournament. He's been very impressive, as Eric Kaufman has also been. I think it's going to be a good match.
Jeff Prescott is in the orange, representing Section 6. Going to have a little delay here. I think the tape may have come apart in the mat out in the center of the mat.
Fortunately, the two gentlemen we haven't mentioned yet, and they've been rotating around, are the officials. This one for this match is Mark Stevens. The assistant referee is Jim Wild. I think it's good that we haven't mentioned them. I mean, I hate to forget about them, but it's nice to know that they haven't been really a part of the match and had any outcome been, a problem because of them. Or I think that, to me, officiating, if you're not noticed, you're doing one heck of a job. And I think so far the officiating here in the finals has been superb.
Jeff Prescott has 119 consecutive wins. That broke a state record of 102. So you get an idea of just how good he is.
And I believe in the first round, Jeff Prescott wrestled the gentleman, Epifano, that gave him his last loss. And he beat him 12-1.
Jeff Prescott being looked at by Clarion and Lockhaven, two colleges that want him to attend school. Two seniors going at it in the 112-pound weight class. Here we go. Getting those hand positions, I would imagine, is very important in the early going.
Oh, hand control is probably one of the most important things. If you can control your opponent's hand, then you control the match.
They're not wasting any time like the earlier wrestlers we've seen. They started out rather slow. These two wrestlers go at each other right away.
You notice also they're not tying up nearly as tight. They're head to head rather than ear to ear, which means that they want to stay loose. They want to go right after it. There's
Jeff Prescott's on top now. And he was awarded the 2 points right there?
2-point takedown.
Shot of one of our referees this afternoon.
Each match has two referees. Looks like he's trying to tilt him there. He's got his 2-on-1 on the arm. It's almost a baseball type of grip. And you just pull it over and you block with your knees.
Prescott trying to get the upper hand here.
He's getting a count out there. If he makes it to 5, it's a 3 count. Notice how smooth he's moving, back and forth. He goes from one move to the other. Eric Kaufman did not have a chance to even get off his back.
How close were we to a pin right there?
Both shoulder blades have to be down. They say 2 seconds, but generally it's less than that. If you hold him there for almost like a second and a half, most referees will get slap the mat.
Is that the ultimate goal, or are you just trying to compile points? Or does it depend on the position of each wrestler?
This could be trouble. He's just turning him over. I'm still impressed with the way Jeff Pratt's going.
Kaufman looks overmatched right now. End of the first period, he's trailing 9-0. He looks like he's completely taken out of his game plan.
It's definitely going to be a problem for him to come back in this type of situation. Green chose neutral. That's apparently Eric Kaufman feels he can take him down. Didn't look that way in the first period. I'm not so sure that was the smartest choice, but he also maybe feels that that's the only way he's going to be able to score points.
He's going to need a lot of help here. He's trailing big, 9-0 at the beginning of the second period. Jeff Prescott's like a household name around these parts. When you talk about the state wrestling championships in Syracuse, Jeff Prescott's going to be around at the end. And he is again.
Notice the difference in the style that Prescott's using and Kaufman are using. They're not tying up, locking up, trying to get under hooks. They're going to keep the hands out. and going, shoot, stay loose. They don't want to be tight. Another nice takedown by Prescott.
12-0 the score now. Prescott in total control.
Referee signals, and again, this is something that I think has improved over the years, a potentially dangerous hold. Anytime the referee, and there's definitely certain moves that are going to be it, feels that a wrestler could get hurt if it was continued, he'll blow the whistle, stop it, and call a potentially dangerous hold.
They changed the score. It's 11-0. 2 points awarded on that takedown. 11-0, Jeff Prescott in the lead. Eric Kaufman from Section 11 has a lot of work to do, but he looks completely overmatched in this one. Eric Kaufman's been around. He went out to Montana in 1985, finished second in the World Team Trials out there. A very experienced wrestler.
I think you're going to find most of these wrestlers that are here now wrestle probably year-round. They go to all sorts of tournaments. Looks 2 points for Kaufman. He's a good reversal.
He gets on the scoreboard. He's down 11-2 though. 20 seconds to go in period 2.
Just 1 point, Prescott. Notice how smooth. He's not herky-jerky. He just seems to just keep on going. He goes for those hand controls and moves out. Looks like he's going to get 2, and he's going to get back points out of this.
He's got all the tools.
This could be the end of the match. If your point differential, no, he only got 2.
14-2.
No, I think it's. There seems to be a little confusion on
See
this.
how many points they did award him.
I think he got 2 and 2, and the score was 12-2, was it not?
That's right.
So it should be 16-2. Now, if he scores 1 more point, the differential between the scorers will be more than 15. That's considered a technical fall, which is like a pin. You get the same amount of points for your team. If you're wrestling a dual meet or in a tournament, you get the same amount of points as a pin.
All Jeff Prescott here. We talked about him at the top of the show, and he hasn't disappointed us.
He's definitely impressive. He's so smooth and fluid. Like I said, he just goes from one move to another. He needs 2 more points here to end the match.
Eric Kaufman was really never in this. Wrestling is hard out, but he's just up against too big of an opponent. We're in the 112-pound weight class at the Onondaga County War Memorial, and Jeff Prescott is in control, 16-2.
Again, he's trying to get a tilt. No, there's a 1 count. He's got 2. That should be the end of the match.
And it is.
Impressive way to end your high school career by winning the 3rd-time state championship and also winning it by a technical fall.
The banner in the War Memorial reads, Jeff Prescott, you did it twice. 1 more time would be nice. And he did. He obliges with a win. A technical fall in the 112-pound weight class. Jeff Prescott from Section 6 is the state champion at 112.
You can tell he's really excited about it, and as well he should be. That's quite an accomplishment. Very few people have done that in the past 3 years. As a sophomore, junior, and senior year, he's been a state champion.
And Eric Kaufman has somewhat of a career ahead of him. He'll be going to Cornell, so he's long from done.
He has nothing to be ashamed of. He made it here to the finals, which is a feat in itself, and he wrestled very well.
On to 119-pound weight class. This will feature Section 8's Richard Centano from Long Beach. He's a senior, age 17 years old. He's has 22 pins from last year. He's got a career record of 120, 15, and 2. And he will go up against Jeff Lewis from Section 9, a junior, age 17, from Valley Central High School in Walden, New York. Section 8 versus Section 9, and Section 8 leads in the team standings coming into the finals. So Santano not only would help out himself, but his team as well.
Both wrestlers are undefeated, and both of them are over the century market again. I think we're seeing more and more wrestlers surpass that 100 wins. They start wrestling earlier. There's more matches during the season. They just have that opportunity, and to make it here, they have to be very good.
Richard Santano is in the green. And they're on their way near the end of the mat there. It looks like they're going to be out of the circle. Hovering on the out-of-bounds line.
Notice one foot's out. It doesn't have to be out unless the referee lets him go. Referees for this match are, the referee is Rich Perry. The assistant referee is Mark Jones. He's trying to drive in there and increase his position, but it was a nice sprawl by Lewis.
And they're out. They almost went off the mat that time onto the wooden floor.
It was an attempt at a throw, and I think maybe he knew he was going out of bounds. I think he was just trying to get out of the position he was in.
You hear some of the coaches from Jeff Lewis's corner. How much of a factor do coaches have in all this when they get to the finals?
I think the coaches affect them. You know, they help them out, but I think mostly the referee or the wrestler has in his mind what he's going to do, and he's going to do it. Sometimes when they go out of bounds, they might give him a little inspiration. They might also tell him, hey, you got to watch this or whatever.
Look at this move right here, Doug.
What
was Santano trying to do there?
Santano was just, he was in there, and Lewis was trying to stop him from getting a takedown. There's no takedown yet. There's no control been established. And this is what we find more and more of, especially against two evenly matched wrestlers. Lewis is hanging on to that leg and trying to suck it in and probably pick him up in the air. And Santana's trying to just, block him, control his head, and get his leg back. He's got to clear that leg that he's got a hold of in order for him to score points here.
Less than 10 seconds to go in the first period, no score. A lot of movement that time by each wrestler without any score. And that's it. Period 1 is over. Richard Santano from Section 8, Jeff Lewis from Section 9. Scoreless as we head to period 2. We're in the 119-pound weight class from the Onondaga County War Memorial. You're watching the 1987 New York State Wrestling Championships on Cable 13.
Lewis won, had his choice, and he chose to be down. I would probably say that means he wants to score points here. Generally, I tell my wrestlers to defer. Say that choice for the third period, so you're in control, or maybe you want to be down or whatever. But Lewis chose down. He won the toss, and he chose down.
When it comes to making the choice, what do you want to do? What's the difference? Up or down?
I would choose. You have to choose down. He just got a reversal. He's also getting back points off of that throw. Lewis has Santana in trouble here.
Good job that time by Lewis, scoring a bundle of points.
Now Santana's got to clear out of there and get at least 1 point escape. He's got the leg, but they consider that Lewis is still in control. It's a touchy subject there. What is control, what is not control? I think he might get one here very shortly. There he goes.
And they give him the one. So it's 5-1 after that exchange right there. Good job by Lewis, but Santano trying to get back in the match. That was a pretty nice move to escape.
A lot of times the referee will wait on a signal like that until they go out of bounds, or until it's even more clear to give them the one, so that it's not a 1, 2 points takedown. 1, a point escape, 2 points takedown. Santana shot right off the whistle, got in on the leg, but Lewis is countering very well. In fact, he might have, if he spins here, he drags him a little bit, he might get that takedown himself.
Both wrestlers look like they have a lot of muscle. Looks like Lewis just seems to be getting the better position right now.
I think he's countering. Santana twice has gotten in on that leg, and Lewis has been able to counter his hold, not get anything himself, but not give up any points.
5-1 as we near the end of period number 2.
Once again, Santana's in there, and he's got the legs. He's got double leg now. But Lewis, nice sprawl. Notice how his legs are way back. He's not going to let Santana get underneath him.
10 seconds, Jeff.
Not much time left. Neither wrestler has control.
And
he got the 2 right at the whistle. Right at the whistle, he gave him 2 points there.
So Richard Santano is back in the bout. He trails now by a score of 5-3. As we head into the third period, this isn't over.
Here's a good case. Santana had choice now. He chose down. So therefore, he feels he can get out, get that reversal.
Fans didn't like that call, but I thought it was a rather good judgment on the referee. That was a good call.
He, before the horn blew, before the timer came out and tapped him on the back, he had the 2.
So it's 5-3. Jeff Lewis will be on top here. Let's see if Santano can use his positioning.
Nice turn, and he should have a standing reversal right here. It should be 2 points. You don't, in a takedown, you have to get him to the mat. On a reversal, you can be a standing reversal, which that was.
And we're tied, 5-5.
The way things are going here, I don't think this is going to end up tied, at least not at 5-5.
A lot of action by these wrestlers in all 3 periods. Santana was behind early on, but looks like he's got the upper hand all of a sudden.
Well, Lewis caught him with that big throw, which cost him 5 points. And Santana has actually, gotten his points back.
The momentum has changed.
Momentum has changed. He's still got to be able to turn him over, though.
Richard Santano was the runner-up in last year's 119 weight class in the state finals. He's looking to carry that one step further.
He wants to not be the bridesmaid, he wants to be the bride.
45 seconds to go in the bout. It's 5-5, and they're out of bounds.
The hand up in the air is a signal for stalling. He warned Jeff Lewis he's got to get moving on the bottom. He cannot stall.
Richard,
if he calls it again, it'll be a 1-point technical violation, 1-point stalling.
Richard Santano, Doug, seems to be carrying the play right now.
He's working for a pinning combination, what the top man is supposed to do. And apparently the official felt that Jeff Lewis was not working hard enough or working to get a reversal or escape. You always have to work to better your position. If you're on bottom, work for a 1-point escape or a 2-point reversal. And if you're on top, you got to work for the pin.
Less than half a minute to go in the period.
He might call him here again. I think he might call him here again. I haven't seen Lewis do too much.
That would be a difficult call. That'd be a tough judgment call. A stalling point here could cost him the match. There's 10 seconds to go. We're still tied.
I don't think you're going to see it. He's got to throw that leg in there and keep his foot on the ground. We're going to have an overtime here.
Okay, explain the overtime.
Okay, what happens is each wrestler goes to his corner where he can be dried off, he can be, have some water, he can do whatever he wants for 1 minute. Okay, then they're called back, and all stalling calls, all technical violations are eliminated from this. In other words, he can be warned for, Lewis was warned earlier in the third period for stalling. He will not get a point if he's called for stalling again. He'll be warned again, and then he'll lose a point.
So we're back to square one, 0-0.
Yep, it's a clean slate. The difference is each period is now only 1 minute long instead of 2 minutes. And if it's tied at the end of this, they go to a criteria, and there's a whole listing. I believe a major violation, not stalling, but a unsportsmanlike conduct is the first criteria. If somebody got that against them, then they would lose.
What type of instructions? You just see the coaches talking with Richard Santano. What type of instructions can you give him in an overtime?
I think you got to tell him, continue wrestling the way you are. You're doing a good job. You got to make sure his mentally is ready. You tell him that this guy's dying over there, so that he has a little mental edge. Because when you go 5-5 in the state finals, they're both good. So therefore, I think you got to give him whatever mental edge you can. Say, hey, there's double legs working for you. Be aggressive, shoot, whatever.
Is there a fatigue factor?
Definitely, but I'm not sure they feel it out there. I've never been in the state finals myself, but I think the adrenaline's pumping so much right now that it's not the fatigue factor's not really there. Once again, Santana's in nice and deep, but Jeff Lewis has got a good sprawl there again. Santana's trying to come around the far side, move to a single leg.
Jeff Lewis looks like a very good fundamental.
He comes up and gets a half. He could get back points out of this too. He got the 2 points takedown. That first takedown is also very important. That's one of the, I think that's the third or fourth criteria is who got the first takedown. I think back points is the first. Or the second, excuse me.
And we're out of time.
Referee will flip the coin again.
Now
Green's choice.
Is this it now, or are they going to go again?
They go 3 1-minute periods. They go to the whole, it's like a mini match again.
2-0. Richard Santano is on top. Being looked at by Syracuse, North Carolina, and Bloomsburg for wrestling scholarships.
That's a new type of style of start they've had for the last 2 years. It's a freestyle start. The old days used to have the one hand around the stomach, the other hand on the elbow. Now you just have your thumbs together. I think we'll see it here again because Lewis has done it 2 times. Thumbs together on the back, and you have to be behind the shoulder blades. It's a freestyle type of start. A lot of the high school wrestling is moving towards freestyle wrestling.
Now, who has the advantage right there, in your estimation?
Lewis has the advantage. He's had the leg in there. Now Santana's got the advantage. He's going to get 1 point escape. See, now Santana's definitely got a mental edge going now. He's got a 3-point lead in a match when, you know, it was tied. And 3 points could be a major obstacle here now, especially he came back in the from the first. He got a 5-point move called against him, and he came back to tie it up. I think Santano's looks like he's pretty much in the driver's seat. He's got to come up with that.
Here's the end of the second overtime period.
One more overtime, 1 minute long.
And it's Richard Santano on top by a score of 3-0.
Lewis had choice, he took down. I really think in this particular instance, if I were Lewis, I'd have to go for 1 and then try to take him down. Though he hasn't really come close unless he has a move that he can get 2 and 2 out of. In other words, a reversal and back points.
That would have been something if you could get an escape right off the whistle.
Well, some people do. If they explode on that whistle with some quickness and look for those hands to break them free.
Unfortunately for Lewis, he did not do that. He trails by 3 now with 45 seconds to go in the 119-pound weight class.
Santana looks like he's trying to, well, he did look like he was trying to do some type of cross-face cradle there, but he's going to be careful here. Like, I'm a little surprised he's throwing the legs in like that to get high.
And there's a whistle. What do they call right there, Doug?
I'm not so sure. I mean, I know what he called. He called stalling. I'm not quite sure that was a call I would have called. Apparently, the official felt that Santana was just riding him, and he wasn't trying to get any more back points out of it. Therefore, he just, he called him for stalling. He wants him to keep working.
That was only a warning. No points were given out to Lewis. 10 seconds to go. It looks like Santanos is going to win the bout.
It was a good match. Both wrestlers kept on working the whole time.
So an overtime win, and there you see a very excited Richard Santano from Section 8.
He's still got to go out there and shake hands out there. He's still got to go out there and shake hands.
And he finished second last year. He was not to be denied in 1987. Richard Santano, the winner of the 119-pound weight class in 1987. And we'll be right back with the 126-pound weight class bout right after these messages.
Jane makes her parents very proud. She's on the honor roll and plans to go to college. Starred in her class's last play. She plays clarinet in the school orchestra. Yes, Jane knows about drugs. In a way, she's lucky. She knows better. Some people don't realize that marijuana and driving don't mix. But Jane's brother reminds her every day that some trips last forever.
Brought to you by the New York State Public High School Athletic Association.
Looking at the 126-pound weight class, this is Tom Ballone from Section 5, the senior from Spencerford High School in Rochester, New York. He's up against Glenn Rommel from Section 8, a senior from Belmore, New York. Section 8's Glenn Rommel is in the green. Ballone is in the purple with the green anklet. What do you make of these two wrestlers, Doug?
I saw Ballone several times. He looked impressive, very quick, very strong. Did not see Glenn Rommel wrestle today, or I didn't notice him wrestle today. But I'm sure, he has 2 pins coming in here, and I think we're going to see a good match again. All these matches are going to be good, especially if the wrestlers wrestle up to their capabilities, which all of them have so far. These wrestlers are back to the style we saw in the first 2 matches, where they're tied up nice and tight. Notice, instead of head-to-head like we saw with Prescott, these guys are more ear-to-ear.
What does that show? That you have more advantage as far as strength goes, or
I think it's more of a strength move. The tighter you get, the more, to me, the more opportunity you have of getting thrown or throwing somebody. When you're loose, it's a tap-and-go type of thing. It's more on quickness and speed. Referee for this match is Dave Adams. The assistant referee is Mark Stevens.
And there you see that spread again. That's the defensive move in that situation. Is that
Anytime
right?
somebody shoots a single or a double leg, generally the sprawl is the first move you do, and then you go from there. You can't let him get underneath you, his hips underneath you. Otherwise, nice shot. Okay, the reason for that call is you must make your first move forward. And Rommel shot off the whistle, and Ballone just backed up, and so therefore he got warned for stalling. You got to stay. They want you to stay in the middle of the mat.
By the way, with as we get in the first period here, with the last weight class win by Santano, that gives Section 8 a commanding lead as far as team standings go. 170 points for Section 8. Section 3's in second with 158.5 points. How important is the team standings when you look at the wrestling championships here at the War Memorial?
It's more for pride. Pride in our section. We won it, or we took second. We beat this area. We must be better. Nice move.
2 points for Rommel on that move. And he scores the first points of the bout. 2-0 in the second period here.
I would say Rommel's got to get out of there. He's in too tight, and he doesn't have any. Ballone is just setting him up, and he's in control. I think you will see Glenn Rommel try to get away and have a fresh start.
Before this exchange started, there was no score. Now it's 2-1. They're still locked in. Rommel's in front, 2-1.
He's got to get out of there. He's got to get a fresh start. I just feel that he's in there too tight, and he looks uncomfortable to me.
2 seniors, one from Section 8, one from Section 5, going at it in the 126 weight class.
Again, both wrestlers have over 100 wins for their careers. Like I said before, we're seeing more and more of that.
We haven't seen any pins here in the finals, and you're not going to, generally speaking, is that right?
I don't think you will. I mean, we saw that one technical fall, which is similar to a pin. I also think that pins are going to happen only if you catch somebody. I think Lewis could have been close in that last match to pin him. He caught him with that throw, had a headlock on him. That's when it's going to happen. Somebody's not going to come in and turn somebody else over most of the time. It could happen, but generally these guys are too good to get caught like that. They're going to have to, they're going to get caught with something, not just turned over.
Someone's going to make a mistake before they give up a pin in a final like this. Much too important. 2-1 is the score. Glenn Rommel from Section 8 is leading in the match.
Looks like he's trying to set either a dump or a fireman's carry up with that arm hooked like that.
Is it better for a wrestler to be on his feet as he's wrestling or on his knees? Or does it matter?
You should always stay on your toes. You're much faster, you know, you stop and think about it. If I'm on my toes and I have another 2 feet advantage of covering distance. A lot of times wrestlers, it's a problem when you get on your knees because you can't move nearly as fast.
End of the period, 2-1 the score.
Ballone's choice, he chooses down. I would probably venture to say that we're probably going to see a 1-point escape, just to predict something here, and then it's going to be who's going to get the takedown in the third period.
You look at Tom Ballone's face, and it looks like he's ready. We'll see what he can do here as the whistle blows for the third period. Look at his face right there. Tried to make the move out.
He certainly did.
Didn't quite make it. And he did. He did make it.
Glenn Rommel tried to throw a cradle on. He didn't have him tied up at all. You still need to keep something tied up in that. He just stood up and was away. It seemed easy, but it's not really sometimes as easy as it looks.
You called it, Doug. 2-2 the score now. Let's see what happens from here on out. Minute and a half to go in the bout. If Rommel wins for Section 8, it will increase their lead in the team standings.
Warning on Rommel for stalling. He's got to be a little more aggressive. I think he's been aggressive on his shots, but I just don't think he, according to Dave Adams, the official, he hasn't been following up. He's been hanging on. Nice move.
2 points that time. And there's a minute to go, and Ballone's in front, 4-2. And you called it. You hit it right on the head. He makes the escape, and then he makes the takedown. Now Ballone's trying to finish it off. 40 seconds to go.
He's got to get that one-on-one to be able to pull him across. Nice peel by Rommel. He's got to come up now. He's got to get an escape and then a quick takedown or a reversal, but I think he's got to face. He's got to keep facing. Ballone's trying to stay behind. He's got that half on there.
15 seconds. Rommel's giving it all he's got. 5 seconds to go.
He's just going to hang on. He can even give him one here and not have to worry about it.
He sure is. Ballone comes back and he wins the bout. Tom Ballone from Section 5, the senior out of Rochester, is the 126-pound weight class champion for 1987. And a happy young man he is. Fans, we want to remind you, as a New York-based manufacturer, Pulvinite is committed to the continued growth of our wrestling community. For over 25 years, their Rappinger Falls, New York facility has consistently produced high-quality mats, as well as offering a first-class factory reconditioning program. For safe, durable wrestling mats, reconditioning, or wall padding, contact Pulvinite. When you think of safety, think Pulvinite mats. We're on to the 132-pound weight class. Brian McGill from Section 6, Cheektowaga, New York, at Cheektowaga High School. He's a junior, up against Tony Ferreira from Section 4. Ferreira hails from Sydney, New York. We're in the 132-pound weight class, Doug.
McGill has been impressive. I hate to say it, he's the one that knocked my wrestler out of the to get into the finals. He is a good leg man. Does a lot of leg work. He's undefeated. He has 37-0. He's fairly impressive.
Section 6 against Section 4. Nice move that time by Ferreira.
No points have been scored yet. No points have been scored. He'll probably get 2 points.
It looks like
clear his hips. He's got to get that leg free. There goes the 2.
And we're tied.
The official for the referee for this match is Bob Playa. The assistant referee is Rick Connor.
Play called no advantage there, so they're back to the center of the mat. Both wrestlers had to earn their victories to get into the finals. Ferreira had a 7-3 and a 7-6 win, while McGill had a pin in the third period, a 4-3 win and an 8-2 win to get here.
Notice how tight the wrestlers stay. Anytime there's gaps, that's when a reversal or escape is going to be created. Bottom man should try to create these gaps. Top man's got to eliminate them. You got to stay tight.
What are your thoughts on that facial gear that McGill is wearing?
He probably had it sometime. He's worn it all tournament. Probably had some type of nose injury or eye injury. It can be confining. We had a wrestler on our team this year that wore one, and you got to get used to it. It makes you feel, you sweat more under there, but it does protect. It's padding all around, and it does protect your nose and or eye, whatever the injury is. Sometimes the wrestlers also feel it's harder to breathe. Your nose, there's no opening for your nose. It's all, one area. There's a lot of area underneath it, but, it is confining, I think.
McGill on top there. Ferreira trying to get an escape.
Again, he's trying to put the legs in. Getting a leg in there. He's got to do something with that leg. You saw the referee counting. Sometimes they could be counting for stalling, or it could be counting for a 5 count for a stalemate. Thing is here is Ferreira has to get a reversal or escape here, and McGill has to ride him at least, and if he could get back points, it'd be more to his advantage at that point.
McGill trying to pick him up, it looks like right there.
He's lowering the center of gravity, which makes him even seem heavier than he really is. It's just, he wants to stay off the ground.
Nice move by that time by Ferreira to get out of bounds. It was a nice move on its own, but he also got a chance to get back into the middle of the ring.
He wants to get those legs off. The legs, to me, are one of the harder things to free yourself from if a guy's good with them. And from what I've seen, McGill is good with them. He could be in trouble here. I only saw one count. Yep, the referee shook his head no. He had a 1 count. He held him there, but he's got to get him for 2 counts in order to get at least 2 points for reversal. If he counts to 5, it's 3. Again, the referee felt neither wrestler was going to gain any advantage by that, so he called a stalemate.
Half a minute to go in the period.
Good stand up. He caught him there.
What a move that time.
Caught him and threw him. He's going to get at least 2 and 3. Then a 5-point move.
Ferreira almost had a pin as well there, Doug.
And there's little time left. The period's over now.
Ferreira almost had a pin. McGill should consider himself very lucky. 7-2 now. McGill is going to have to fight an uphill battle, but he's lucky just to be in this match.
He's going along so smoothly, and he let him get that separation there, and he got created a gap, and then he had to recover, and he didn't. He was off balance, and Ferreira threw him down for a 2-point reversal, and then a 3 points for holding him on his back.
You think Ferreira would become a little passive here? How much would that hurt him?
he can't become passive. He's got to keep on going and try to build up. He's still got to be smart. He doesn't want to do anything foolish that's going to cost him big points, but he doesn't want to just lay back and try to sit on a 5-point lead.
There's a stalemate a half a minute into the final period.
McGill's got to try to get something going here.
We got another whistle.
That's a stalling call. Apparently, he must step back.
Only a warning, no points. 7-2 the score. Section 4 and Section 6 going at it in the 132 weight class. Tony Ferreira from Section 4 on top by 5.
This could also make a difference in the team scoring. Section 6 is only 2.5 points behind Section 3 for third place.
Second place, that is.
Second place, right. It's really, the team score is really tight between the top. Well, now Section 8 is kind of pulling away, but it's tight between the next 4 teams. Section 3 is in second right now with 158.5, and Section 11 is in 5th place with 150, and that's only 2-match difference.
Section 4 could pole vault over Section 6 right here with a win. Is that right?
That's correct. They already have the second place and third and fourth, fifth place. You get 4 more points to add it to your score if you win in the finals.
So this has team implications as well. 7-2 with a half a minute to go. Tony Ferreira is holding on in the 132. We have another whistle and another no advantage stalemate call that time.
McGill's got to look for some type of throw. He's got to, he can't just be satisfied with a takedown. He's got to be getting some type of takedown plus back points. I think you see Ferrar's confidence level seems to be growing and growing as the closer he gets to it. He's not letting him get away with anything.
Ferrara's going to win 7-2, and there it is. It's all over. Section 4's junior from Sydney, New York, Tony Ferreira, has captured the 132-pound weight class for 1987. So Tony Ferreira adds to his 114, 21-1 career record with another win. It's a big one here at the War Memorial. He has captured the 132-pound weight class in the 1987 New York State Wrestling Championships. We'll be back with more right after this.
It's hard work keeping in shape, but it's important to me to be the best that I can be and look the best that I can look. I don't go through all this to impress other people. I do it because I care about me. I care about my body and my health, but most importantly, I care about feeling good about myself. That's why I would never, ever take illegal drugs. I've seen some people who smoke marijuana, and they seem to lose pride in their appearance. They lose their motivation to achieve. And let's face it, what goes in your body eventually shows up on the outside. The bottom line is stay away from drugs, but do it because you care about yourself.
Brought to you by the New York State Public High School Athletic Association.
Seven down, 7 to go here at the Onondaga County War Memorial. We're now up to the 138-pound weight class. This is Dave Watson from Section 2. He's a senior from Burnt Hills High School in Burnt Hills, New York. He's up against Section 4's Chris Perry. 2 seniors going at it, Doug.
Both with Watson's 33-1 and Chris Perry's 33-1-1.
Section 4's Perry is in the red. Watson is in the maroon. He is wearing the green anklet. And you'll see the corresponding green and red colors on the referee's wristbands. Our referee, by the way, for this bout is Pete Durlam. His assistant is Larry Cantor. Watson has accepted a scholarship to Oral Roberts, and it's an academic scholarship, not a wrestling scholarship.
got to get him up in the air here. Notice how he's picking that leg higher. Nice trip move, but he's got to get the arm around. It should be 2 points. Whoa, nice move by Perry to almost get out of it.
Ran out of room, I guess, is what it amounted to. Still no score.
I think Watson should have had the takedown there if he had a little more control on his body. He kind of let Perry continue. Just stalling on Perry. Warning, no points were awarded.
Looks like both wrestlers are going for the gamut at the start, not waiting around. Now Perry will be on top.
He got the 2 points takedown. There's 24 seconds to go. It'd be very beneficial for Watson for his outcome here to at least score something here, whether it's 1 or 2 points. You don't want to be 2 points down because then even a reversal only ties it. You want to be able to get something out of it.
How frustrating is it to wrestle the way he did in the first period and come up with no points?
It can affect your mental attitude, but I think we were talking about a high caliber wrestler here. He's going to say, well, I'm going to get him back. He's not going to let it affect him and say, well, that's, geez, I'm down by 2-0. No, what am I going to do? They've been around, and they're going to be able to recover from this. 2-point deficit really is not a lot until the final buzzer rolls, then it is a lot.
Watson wins the coin toss, and he defers. He'll be on top as Perry decides to take the bottom here. He leads 2-0. And here we go with period number 2 in the 138-pound weight class.
He has to ride him here. He can't give him any points. And again, he's got that leg up, but he had that last time, and Perry was able to get out and almost get Watson.
Two long and lean wrestlers. How much of a factor does that play in wrestling, to be long and lean rather than, say, stocky?
I think it just is a factor in your style. It doesn't really have any, you're not going to be better because you're tall, or you're not going to be worse, stronger. I think it just affects the style of wrestling that you do, that you use. Your body, maybe if you're tall and lanky, you use legs more, whereas if you're short and stocky, you're going to use your strength and quickness. Or, it just, the body style really only affects your style of wrestling, not necessarily how good you're going to be.
That's Watson on top right there, trying to make a move.
Doing a good job of riding, but he really needs. Whoa, nice.
That's a good job by Perry. He got out of it, number 1, and he changed his position, and now he's up 4-0.
Doesn't seem like Watson's doing anything. I don't know if he's injured or what.
Well, that was a pretty brutal-looking takedown, if you ask me.
I think if you were able to see that again, you just saw him. Once he got that reversal, he just kind of sat there. And Perry was, not even really trying. He kind of, looked up to the official and said, "Hey, there's something wrong here."
There you see Section 4's Perry talking with his coaches. Fans, we want to remind you, Pulvinite, the toughest name in mats, offers a complete line of wrestling mats, wall padding, and reconditioning services to fulfill the need of any wrestling program. Each Pulvinite mat represents over 25 years of experience in producing consistently high-quality products. When you think of safety, think Pulvinite. Nearing the end of the period.
I think he's going to be on top in this third period. He needs to score some points. He's got to stay smart here. There's not much time left.
That'll do it for the second period. Dave Watson from Burnt Hills.
He still seems a little bit shaky on the mat.
Nonetheless, he did score 2 points after that injury, so he still has something left in him.
And he's down again for this third period, so therefore, he has an opportunity here to tie it up with another reversal.
Here we go, final period.
He's got to explode. He's got to come up. Otherwise, Chris Perry is just going to tie him up.
Each wrestler looking for that positioning.
He's up. He might. He's got to get hands. He's got to peel those hands out.
Looks like Watson right now, Doug, is in a purely defensive mode.
He's got to become offensive. If he doesn't become offensive, he's going to lose this match. Perry on top is just, Perry's on top, and I was just going to say, he's just riding him out. And apparently that's what the referee felt also, because he just warned him for stalling.
Tell you what, Dave Watson looks over to his coaches on the near side here, and he still looks quite groggy from whatever happened to him a period ago. He looks a little wobbly kneed as he got back into the center.
Let's see if he starts exploding. There he goes again. See, every time he's exploded on the whistle, he's done well. In the beginning of the period, he wasn't doing that much, and he wasn't getting even close. Now he seems to be, again, looks like he's doing something, and moving right away on the whistle. Whoa.
Some takedown there, and they roll out of bounds.
He didn't hold him there. He does seem a little strange. He's looking over his coach, and
I don't think he knows where he is.
He might be wrestling strictly on instincts right now. See if he explodes on the whistle.
Doug, I tell you, I don't think he has anything left. Out of bounds again. 25 seconds to go. It's 4-3. Watson only trails by 1. But it'll be all he can do to get back in. A little escape here. It'll send this into overtime.
He only needs 1, and he's got 25 seconds to go. But on the whistle, hand control. There's 2-point reversal with 15 seconds to go.
Would you believe it? Watson may win this. They're out of bounds.
Looked like he was waiting for that time period. And he said, wait a minute, I only got 24 seconds to go. Let me get a reversal now.
Watson turns the match around. He's up by 1 now with 11 seconds to go. He's going to win it.
He's got to hang on. He's got to pick an ankle here.
If Perry can escape, he'll tie the match. 5 seconds. 3. It's all over.
Came back with that reversal with 24 seconds to go.
Can you believe it?
And he still doesn't look like he knows where he is.
Dave Watson from Burn Hills, New York, representing Section 2, is the winner in the 138-pound weight class. I don't know if he knows he's won this match. Take a look at him, Doug.
He looks... Referee's kind of guiding him over to where his coach is. I don't think he really knows.
Watson was trailing with 25 seconds to go, and he turned it around.
I think he wrestled that whole, after that injury, I think he wrestled strictly on instinct.
You see him there leaving with his coach. I don't think he's shaking off that second period injury, but nonetheless, he's the champion in 138. Let's move along now to the 145-pound weight class. Take a look at Doug Romer from Section 4. He's a senior out of Horseheads. And he'll go up against Mike Janasek from Section 8. 2 seniors battling it out. Janasek is from New Hyde Park, New York. Section the 145 weight class, Section 4 versus Section 8. Both the wrestlers in this match, Doug, coming in undefeated this year.
It looked like that Romer was going to get the takedown. Now I'm not so sure. He did. He got it. Not the way I would have thought he got it, but he did get it.
Mike Janasek from Section 8 is in the green. This has implications in the team standings as well. We'll run that down for you a little bit later on. Section 8, by the way, is leading in last count.
I think Section 8, with the number of guys they have in the finals, will not be caught by anybody. I think it's more going to be a question of who's going to take second, third, fourth, and fifth.
Section 8 is from Lower Long Island.
Right outside New York City. Long Island from New York City out, I don't know, 20 miles or so, and then Suffolk County takes over. It's Nassau County.
You're looking at the 145-pound weight class of the 1987 New York State Wrestling Championships. We're glad you're with us. We're on Cable 13 Sports, Macaw Cablevision. What's happening here, Doug, when he's got him around the waist like that? Is there a advantage to that, or
he has to be able to tie him up. You notice his hands are locked. As long as both wrestlers are on the feet, you may lock your hands. Notice as soon as they hit the mat, he ain't let go. You have reaction time, and again, that's something an official will decide. You know, what's reaction time? Is it a split second? Is it half a second? But in order, as soon as he comes down to his knees or down to his hip like that, the top man has to let go of his locked hands. As long as they're up on his feet, he needs to keep his hands locked to keep him in tight to him and keep control.
And Doug Romer did just that. And that's the end of the period. Romer in the red. Took the deferment from Janasek, and he'll choose to be on the bottom, leading 2-0.
Nice little Granby attempt. Looks like he's got a Peterson here. There's the 2 points, and the referee is counting. That Peterson is named after Ben Peterson, one of our Olympic gold medalists. I guess he must have invented the move. It's a nice move. He's got a leg and arm trapped there, and he can sit there almost all day. And Janasek will be unable to get out. Difficult to pin. As you can see that the guy can arch there. It's difficult to pin a guy with the Peterson, but you can get your 2 points reversal and your 3 points back points and then change up, as we just saw Romer do.
Romer had his back to him just there, Doug. Does he have an advantage at all? Is there any way he can try and pin him with his back to his man?
What he's trying to do with that Peterson move is just, you look towards the head and you hold. You have the arm and the leg there. Like I said, it's very difficult. You have, the Peterson comes out like that. Your back is on your opponent's stomach. That's the way the move ends up. It's difficult to pin a guy because you're not real tight. You're not up on his shoulders. You're more on his stomach, and so you don't have a pressure and weight there.
They're going to award 1 point.
It's going to be difficult, Lo, for Janasek to come back. He needs to get a takedown here and possibly more. He should be able to choose down on third period, but we're still talking about a 6-point difference. If he gets a takedown here and he gets a reversal in the if he gets a reversal in the third period, then he's still going to be down by 2 points. So he's got to score some back points also and get the takedown.
They're on the out-of-bounds line. Now they roll out of bounds. We'll go back to the center with Romer leading 7-1. 15 seconds left in period number 2.
He's got to shoot, and it looked almost like a half-hearted shot right there. He's got to be a little bit more aggressive. Nice move there. Nice move. He's going to get the takedown plus back points out of it.
Looking for the pin as well.
I don't think there's enough time.
That's the end of the period. But Romer definitely in control of this one.
I think he might have landed Janasek right on his head on that move, and he did all he could to fight it off.
It's 11-1 now. And this has implications in the team standings, as we mentioned. Section 4 trailing Section 3 by 1 point for second place in the standings. Section 8, of course, is in first place with 170. Section 3 is in second at this time with 158.5 points. Section 4 has 157.5 points, and Section 6 has 156. Tight battle at the top of this group right here.
It's a real tight battle, and not only that, but he'll get 4 more points for taking first. He also, if it's a superior decision, receive another point. If it's right now it's a major decision. In other words, he's beating him by between 8 and 11 points. It's 11 points exactly. If he scores more here, he'll get another point for his team. So that could make the difference. So there'll be, even if Section 3 wins at the heavyweight weight class, it might not be enough.
Romer has a chance to extend Section 4's lead in the team standings to second place, and then each Section 3 and Section 4 will each have one wrestler left in the competition, with only 2 points separating the two teams rather. There's a point they're going to score there.
Another Peterson. He's going to get again. He's going to get the 2-point reversal, and referee's not counting. Therefore, wait a minute. And 2 more, so he must have not held him for the full 5 seconds.
16-1.
That should make the difference. If the score is 16-1, the match is over anyways. Here comes the timer to call out another technical fall.
18-1 is going to be the final. And Doug Romer from Horseheads, New York,
wins with impressive style.
Sure enough, being recruited by Lehigh and Syracuse, among other schools. And Doug Romer looks like he's going to have a very promising college career. He's the winner in the 145-pound weight class. Let's move on now to the 155-pound weight class. Rick Sadwick from Rochester's Hilton High School, representing Section 5, a junior with a record of 37 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw. Rick Sadwick going up against John Lamar from Section 7 and Peru High School in Peru, New York. Lamar is a senior with a 34-0 record coming in to this final.
I believe John Lamar is the only Section 7 representative in the state finals here.
As a matter of fact, you're right. He gets here with an 8-0 win, a second period pin, and a 6-5 close decision to make it to the finals. Lamar from Section 7 in the gray or the light uniform. He wears the red anklet.
Again, here we see the wrestlers are in tight to each other, trying to set up.
All depends on style, is that right?
That's definitely true. And what you want to do when you're the wrestler is, wrestle your style. In other words, you don't want to get into I guess I'm talking not the experienced wrestlers, but most wrestlers want to wrestle their style and not get caught up in, if the guy's a real dancer or run around or likes to lock up, and you want to be loose and you want to stay loose. You want to try to make your opponent wrestle your style, not you wrestle his style.
Larry Cottor is the referee for this bout. Bob Stevenson is the assistant. Just underway in the 155-pound weight class. No score between Sadwick and Lamar.
Nice ankle pick by Sadwick. Lamar, again, countered very well, and I think you'll see more and more of that. Not more and more, but you see it here all the time. Good shots, good moves, good counters.
How much does the wrestling style change as you move up the weight class ladder?
Personally, I think that the bigger you get, the more you see strength. The lighter you are, the more you see quickness. I think, there's certain weight classes that I would consider brute force or just strictly as strength and technique. But every once in a while, there's a guy that throws a monkey wrench in that opinion also, where he might be really quick and aggressive and not be very strong.
There's a good look at Rick Sadwick from Hilton High School in Rochester. He's got a career record of 74, 24, and 1. Finished 4th in the Junior Olympics last year in the freestyle at 178. He drops the weight class, which is
weight class or two, which is natural. A lot of these guys, and I'm a good proponent of it. They wrestle in these freestyle tournaments and tournaments year-round at their natural weight, and it comes time for the scholastic wrestling, and they'll lose a few pounds to get down to another weight class.
Good escape that time by Sadwick. He gets a point, the first one of the bout, and he's on top. Minute and a half to go in period 2. And they're out of bounds.
Got a little problem. I think John Lamar has got a nice little brush burn. I think, his contact fell out.
Either that or it does look like he's got some kind of a welt under his right eye.
I noticed that before, but it looked like he was putting a contact back in. I'm not sure.
There's a good shot of him. John Lamar is looking at possibly going to Lock Haven.
Another good wrestling school.
But he's going to play football, I understand. He's a tackle in football. And that would be his scholarship if he decided to go play football at Lock Haven. There are a lot of football players who decide to wrestle when they're not playing football, a type of an off-season type of thing, rather than primarily be a wrestler. Is that right?
Well, I find that in the high school now, the day of specialization is more upon us. I don't agree with it, but that's happening. But I think that some kids, or high school students, I think they get a more well-rounded education by playing 3 sports. And I also feel that one sport, wrestling, can definitely help out being a good football player. It teaches body awareness, strength, quickness. And, we see a lot of, especially these heavier guys, they also play football and wrestle.
Could they go to college and do the same thing?
Difficult, very difficult to do because they're back-to-back seasons. Football in college goes into middle of November, maybe even December, and wrestling starts in October. So it's very, you can maybe do in a small college, do a spring and fall sport, but it's very difficult to do more than one sport without wintertime. No takedown was awarded there.
Just ran out of real estate there.
If that had been a reversal, if he come around, they would have given him 2 points because you can have a standing reversal, but you got to get this your opponent to the mat to get 2 points for a takedown.
John Lamar driving those legs. That's the end of the period. Still 1-0.
I think we'll see
holding on to the lead.
I think we'll see Lamar take down here, right? And he's actually at an advantage, depending on how good of a rider Sadwick is, or if he's a good person to turn somebody over. But he can get a 2-point reversal here and win the match.
By the way, just to follow up on the team standings, Section 4 now did leapfrog over Section 3. They are now in second place in the team standings.
And the bad news is it's by 5 points. Section 3 only has one more wrestler in there. Unless he gets a pin or a superior decision, Section 4 is ahead.
Section 8 is the leader in the team standings. Looks like far and away they're going to end up winning this New York State Championship as far as the teams go for 1987. They have 170 points.
Takedown's going to win this one. It's coming down to that takedown again.
Score is tied 1-1 now with 1.5 minutes to go in the match. wrestlers don't want to make a mistake this late in the match with the score tied. Trying to keep their balance, especially when they're apart as they are.
They're going to try to set the other guy up. You're right. They're not going to do anything that's going to maybe cost them. They're going to still be aggressive, I hope, and they're still going to be doing their shots, but they're not going to do something that's going to cost them 2 points.
Ground shot.
Get a warning. Green got a point. Warning on Lamar for stalling. He'd already been warned earlier, and this time he's called for stalling again. And I'd have to agree with that call. He's, he hasn't been really aggressive on his feet. He hasn't been doing any of the shooting.
For the first time, the referees make a decision that comes into play as far as maybe determining the outcome. It's 2-1 now. Sadwick's in front with a half a minute to go in the bout, and Lamar is going to have to do something here to get back into it. They're out of bounds. If Sadwick can escape, it looks like that right eye may be bothering him still.
He's got to be more aggressive. He still hasn't made a shot yet. He only has 17 seconds to go. He's tying up. He hasn't shot yet. The referee could actually hit him again.
Just awarded a point to to Lamar. What was that for, Doug?
Again, he called Sadwick for stalling. I'm not so sure that was a good call.
In any event, we're tied at the end of regulation.
I guess he must have heard you say that he made a decision to change the match there, so he decided he's going to even things out.
So we're tied 2-2, and we're going into our second overtime of the New York State Wrestling Championships. Looking back to earlier matches, Troy Bazakis won earlier tonight in the 105-pound weight class. He won for the second time from Section 9, a 9-5 decision over Lou Rosselli. And a big winner tonight by technical foul. Jeff Prescott from Section 6 is a 3-time champion as he rounds out his high school career with a 16-2 win over Eric Kaufman.
I'd have to say, looking at the two corners, Rick Sadwick looks a little bit more like he's ready to go. But, hey, you never can tell. It's like Jimmy Brown used to get up real slow and then he'd knock you down the next time. So, we got to see it in the action, not in what it looks like.
Sadwick runs to the middle of the mat as we get going here with the first overtime period. Wipe the slate clean, and they're at it. Same techniques and styles, or are they hiding something for the big finale here?
I don't think that they hide anything, mainly because they don't want to go overtime. If they got something, they're going to pull it out in the regulation match. I think you're going to see basically the same thing. Hopefully somebody's going to get that one takedown or that one reversal or be able to ride them and get back points.
John Lamar from Section 7. 17-year-old senior out of Peru, New York, up against Section 5's Rick Sadwick.
Referee just warned them both for stalling. That could make a difference later on. Sometimes it's nice to have that little ability, at least have a warning call first before you're going to get points. Five seconds to go in the first period.
That'll do it. A minute goes by rather quickly in the overtimes. If you're going to make a move, you're going to make a move quick.
You're right. Sadwick chooses down. I would think that I would try for the first while to get a reversal. They both, seem to be able to escape each other. I think I might want to try to get a reversal, not be on my feet, and then go from there. Gotta try to turn it. Lamar's probably worrying mostly about, make sure he rides him here, not give him anything. There goes the 1 point.
That was a nice move by Sadwick as well.
Now,
you had to figure one time or another he was going to make the escape.
Not to make anything different, but if Lamar gets an escape next and there's no other points scored, it'll come down to a referee's decision. We talked about criteria earlier, and he's going to have to decide who is the most aggressive, who is the better wrestler. I think that he confers with the assistant referee. He has to decide who's going to win this, because escapes, they both had one escape in the first match, the original match.
That's if they're tied after the overtime.
That's right. That's if they're all tied at the overtime.
Right now, it's 1-0. Section 5's Rick Sadwick is ahead as we enter the final period of the overtime. 1 minute left to go.
Start injury time again.
I'm telling you, this eye is bothering John Lamar. He's back over to the corner. I think it is a contact lens, as a matter of fact. You're right.
Contact lenses count as injury time. Even though it's not an injury, it's a timeout that they have to take, and that counts as injury time.
Why would you wear contact lenses in a wrestling match anyway?
A lot, I guess, this is going to sound to see.
To see, yeah.
You want to be, have clear vision. You want to look for hand control. And you want to,
I see.
And most of them now, they stay in fairly well. Okay, now we have our tie set up.
I tell you, you're 2 for 2 in predictions.
A takedown will win it.
45 seconds to go.
And then if it doesn't, it's going to come down to goes back, and there's no criteria. It'll have to be the referee will decide who wins. They don't go anything beyond this. They don't flip a coin or anything else. And I tell you right now, I don't know who I'd pick.
I'll tell you what, they were both going at it right there. They look like they both want it.
They got to decide. Whoever makes the strongest showing at the end is probably going to leave the best impression in the referee's mind. He's not going to remember back in the first period. This is going to be interesting.
It's 2-2.
Coaches are both egging their wrestlers on. You got to shoot. And they do. I wouldn't want to pick this one. I mean, it's very interesting to have this happen.
Can't end up with co-champions, huh?
Cannot be co-champions. And it's going to go down because it's not the first escape or anything else like that.
And you see the referees talking there, Doug.
Right.
This is almost like winning a beauty contest.
There was escapes, and there was both wrestlers had, 2 escapes. Both wrestlers had 2 penalty points. And it's not, when it's a takedown or back points, it's the first back points. Well, there's no first in escapes.
Now the referees are over at the scorer's table.
I think they had to look, they want to make sure it's official. They look over the scorebook and criteria. Now the 2 of them are talking. They're going to decide. I would hate to be in that position. I wouldn't think I'd want that decision to be on my part because both wrestlers were equal.
And to the losing wrestler, it's got to be a heartbreaking decision. Because they didn't lose it on points, they lost it on a decision.
Referees too disgusted. Let's see who's going to win it.
They're going to give it to Sadwick. And if you look at Lamar, he's in disbelief.
I guess if I would have to agree with the official on that call, simply because Sadwick shot in a couple times.
Okay, so the 155-pound weight class goes to Rich Sadwick from Section 5, and we'll be back with more after this.
That's it. I'm history. End of the road.
You can't quit, Vince. No crash dummy takes out a utility pole like you do.
Larry, for years I've been proving how safety belts save lives, but nobody's listening.
Sure they are.
Yeah, that's why thousands die in car accidents every year. I feel like I'm banging my head against the wall.
Come on, Vince. Tomorrow's the big day. 2 compacts. Head on.
High speed?
Could save a life.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
You're looking at the 167-pound weight class. This is Wayne Wilson from Section 11 in the blue going up against Section 8's Steve Shippos. two big wrestlers from 167. One's a senior, that's Wilson. Shippos is a junior.
Shippos undefeated for the season, 33-0, and Wilson is 30-1.
Talking about the football players and the football connection, both of these players are football players. Shippos is a quarterback and an inside linebacker. Wilson plays football and baseball besides wrestling. Wilson has a great book on him. He's got prospects in both baseball and wrestling. Lehigh, Slippery Rock, Oklahoma State, and Ithaca are looking at him for wrestling. And for baseball, Oklahoma State, Ithaca, Florida State, and Hofstra are looking at him. So he's got a couple of choices he can make. No score in the 167-pound weight division with 45 seconds to go in period number 1. Section 11 versus Section 8.
Another Long Island final here. Landed right on his head. I think you see as we get heavier now, we talk about strength and quickness. You'll probably see more throws with the heavier guys because they can get that momentum going, their weight going one way or the other. Nice takedown.
2 points for Wilson there, scoring the first points of the bout. That's the end of the period. Both wrestlers had to earn their way into the finals. Wilson with a 7-4, 5-4, and 6-4 decisions to get here in his 3 bouts. Shippos, on the other hand, had a 4-2 win, an 11-4 victory, and a pin in his bouts to get here.
He's got a 1-point escape. Nice sit out, and Wilson tried to snap him down, and Shippos kept on moving on him.
And we're at 2-1. Score 2 more points, so it's 4-1 now. Wayne Wilson, the man on top, as you look at him right there. He's also on top as far as the scoreboard goes, 4-1. And they're out of bounds.
I think the referee just said something to Wilson about, they gave him a little pop on the top over here at the end of the match. I think it was just the referee tries to keep things under control. There's nothing illegal about it. He just doesn't want things to get out of hand.
And the referees for this bout, Jerry Wright and Fred Brown. How much of a factor does the assistant referee have in all this? Does he have much say?
He is more or less watching for, we talked about locking hands. A lot of times the official cannot, all of a sudden they turn the other way and he can't see it. You notice they always try to stay opposite each other so that they can watch. The referee is really in charge. He's the one that makes the calls. He might ask his opinion on something. If the assistant referee might, have some type of signal, say, hey, I think this guy is stalling or something else. But the referee makes all the decisions.
And that again would be Jerry Wright.
Wilson's got him on his back, a nice cradle move.
Nice 3 count.
He's trying to get those hips over and get a little momentum going.
Nice ground shot there. There you see the coaches for Steve Shippos. See the vantage point they have for this bout. Shippos is trying to
the official
the bottom.
Right. The official did not signal the points, even though Shippos was still not on his back. Wilson didn't get the 3 points until he broke the cradle. and you have to break the pinning combination in order to get your points.
Nearing the end of the second period, and Wayne Wilson has a big 7-1 lead.
I think you'll also notice a lot of these heavier guys, you can be quite surprised at how agile they are, the way they move around.
So there is some quickness along with that.
Oh yeah, with that strength, there's that quickness and agility. And you know, we talked earlier about football players and other sports. They help each other out. You know, in order to be a good wrestler, you know, body awareness and agility can be a key factor.
Final period of the 167-pound weight division, and it's 7-1. Steve Shippos is trailing Wayne Wilson.
Wayne Wilson is definitely in control here. He's on the bottom. He's ahead by 6 points. It's going to be difficult for Shippos to, get that back.
Wilson, in one of his earlier tournaments this year, and was voted most outstanding wrestler of a meet. He also won league matches 4 times down on the island.
You can tell how he puts his hand out there. That's a freestyle method of wrestling. You know, when you're on bottom in freestyle, you don't have to do anything on the bottom. It's the top man. He has to do everything. But you always have to keep yourself exposed. And that's definitely a freestyle type of moves that Wilson was doing or not doing on the bottom.
Nice escape that time by Shippos. He increases his lead to 8-1. He's in complete control now.
I think you'll see Wayne Wilson stay aggressive, keep on moving. Nice trip. Wow. That, to me, that's impressive. He gave him the 2 points. You know, you see how he asked the assistant referee whether he was in or out, and the assistant referee had said yes, he was definitely in before they hadn't gone out of bounds. He hadn't takedown before they did one out of bounds.
How difficult is that to trip somebody like that?
It's more of again, we're talking about quickness. It's more that he just had caught Shippos off balance and kicked the leg out that he had most of his weight on. You don't see it a lot of trips, because first of all, you got to be in close, and second of all, in order for you to throw your leg in to throw a trip, you got to put all your weight on your leg, so therefore you're off balance.
10-1 with a minute to go in the match. Wayne Wilson is in control here.
He's definitely looking sharp.
And they're out of bounds. Shippos is on the bottom. It's difficult to be offensive when you're in that position, trailing by as many points as he is.
And he hasn't really looked like he's going to get any points out of it. In other words, it hasn't been close, and they've gone out of bounds, or he almost got it, and he got regained control. I would have to say that Wayne Wilson has dominated this match and kept Steve Shippos under control.
There have been a couple of bouts tonight, Doug, where we've had a vast difference in score. What do you make of that? Is it just a domination of one wrestler, or what?
I think it could be a domination of wrestlers. It also could be an off day. It could be a mental edge. It could be a lot of things that could affect. But some wrestlers are just that much better.
Wayne Wilson's clearly that much better today. He wins 10-2 over Steve Shippos. So Section 11's senior from Polksville, New York, Wayne Wilson, is your winner in the 167-pound weight class. 177 pounds is the weight division for our next feature bout in the 1987 Wrestling Championships here at the Onondaga County War Memorial. From Section 11, sophomore from Port Jefferson Station, New York, Adam Mariano. He has a career win of 86-14. He's 37-1 this year. He's up against Section 6, Dave Grabenstatter from Amherst High School in Buffalo. Grabenstatter comes in with a 38-0 record this year. He's got over 100 wins for his career.
He also has 31 pins, so you know that he'll be going for the pin.
Grabenstatter lost his headgear that time. He is the representative of Section 6. You got to look there at Adam Mariano.
He's only a sophomore and he has 86 wins, so you know he's going somewhere. Here he is in the state finals.
There you see the strength come into play right there. He almost turned him right around. Mariano carrying the green anklet this time around, so he was a gold medal winner in the Empire State Games just 1 year ago.
Looks like both wrestlers are trying to set themselves up for throws.
Grabenstatter, on the other hand, Doug, was the winner of the U.S. States Wrestling Championships in 1986 at 178 pounds. So two wrestlers who've been around and have been winners in the past meet in the state finals. Grabenstatter, by the way, is on a full scholarship to Lock Haven next year.
Lock Haven is another one of those good wrestling schools with a fine tradition.
Again, you see Grabenstatter losing his headgear on the mat, and they're out of bounds. Almost off the mat.
What impresses me about these two wrestlers is they go from one takedown to another. That time he had trying to throw, and he went right into a single leg, and then Mariano just threw him off to the side.
Still no score. Keep a tab on the team standings, and we'll give them to you as we near the end of the weight class competition. Fans are watching the 1987 New York State Wrestling Championships on Cable 13 Sports, McCaw Cablevision in Syracuse. Hope you're enjoying this top-notch wrestling at the War Memorial.
What I like about this match here is that even though there's no score yet, there's been a lot of action. And, you know, both wrestlers have tried several throws, several different moves.
That's the end of the period with no scoring. But a lot of action, as you mentioned, Doug.
There's been definitely a lot of attempts at throws. Nobody was stalling during that first 2 minutes. And they're going to go, looks like they're going to go neutral. Mariano decided neutral.
That's the way they've been going at each other from the start.
They've been close, but I would, you know, not so sure either one of them has had an edge as far as, you know, who's been closer on getting takedowns. They both look like they've had a couple good moves and a couple good counters.
And they end out of bounds again.
That could be 2 points right there.
It is, you're right. Mariano awarded 2 points, the first two of the match.
I didn't see any, okay.
1 point on an escape, it looks like.
Right. He had him on his back there, but the official, I didn't see if he had one count or not. But apparently it wasn't enough to get 2 points, so it's
2-1 the score now. And looks like Mariano has a bloody nose. You're looking there at Grabenstatter. ...119 wins, 17 losses for that man right there over his career in high school. And he's a senior. Add 31 pins to that record. Mariano, just a sophomore. You impressed you, Doug?
He is. He's very smooth and very fluid. Seems to know where his body is. He's got good body awareness.
Also a very intelligent young man. He's on the honor roll at Fort Jefferson Station, where he has a 94 grade point average.
Ooh, nice move, nice heel pick.
2 points to Grabenstatter.
Let's see what he does on top. He's got the legs in. He's got a grapevine type of move, and looks like he's trying to crank the head over. Difficult to do. I imagine we're going to see a stalemate here pretty soon, because he hasn't even come close.
And you're right. 3-2 though. Grabenstatter grabbed the lead in that exchange, and they're back to the center of the mat. Let's see if Mariano can grab an escape to tie the match with 30 seconds to go, and he's got a bloody nose, and they're sending him over to his corner again. Let's get a shot at him. Very well-developed young man, sophomore out of Fort Jefferson Station. There you see Grabenstatter again from Amherst High School in Buffalo. As we mentioned, had a full scholarship to Lock Haven. He also played football. He was a middle linebacker, Doug.
It's going to be difficult. I'm going to be interested to see how Adam Mariano reacts to it's the first time he's really been down on the whistle, and see whether he's a deliberate wrestler, or in other words, he sets everything up, or whether he explodes on the whistle. I would think, watching him, that he's going to pop up to his feet and try to get an escape. I guessed right on that one.
You're 3 for 3 in your predictions scorebook.
Grabenstatter's throwing the legs and just kicks his Mariano's legs down.
10 seconds to go in the second period of a 3-2 match in the 177 weight division.
Warning the bottom man for stalling.
As the
he's got to do
comes
something.
too close.
If I were Grabenstatter here, I would choose down. That means he's got to turn me over to get points, and if I get an escape or reversal, I'm going to pull 1 or possibly, 2 or possibly 3 points ahead.
And he overheard you, because that's where he is right now.
That's a smart move. We haven't seen Mariano on top yet for very long.
Let's see what he can do from that position. Trailing by a point with under 2 minutes to go in the bout.
He's coming up. He's got the hand control. He's trying to, Grabenstatter's being smart. When he's, when he's on his feet, there can be nothing that Mariano can do to him. He's got to, he's got to break him down to the mat first. So if he keeps on standing up and going, he's not going to get called for stalling, and Mariano is not going to be able to turn him over to his back, which Mariano has to do. The only other thing that Mariano might want to try to do is just give him the 1 point and try to say, well, I'm going to take you down. But you better not wait too long to do that.
There's a close-up shot of them right on the line. Fans didn't like that call. Was he out of bounds, Doug?
Yeah, I think he was. If supporting parts of both wrestlers are out of bounds, they're going to call him out. And then, again, it's for their own safety. The match's going to be only so big, and they have to make, that's one of those rules and not a judgment. I think you're going to see if Gravis, okay, he's moving again. But if he had stayed there too much longer, I think you would have seen referee Fred Brown hit him for a stalling call.
And I think they awarded him a point for an escape there.
1 point escape, and now he's going to, now they're on their feet. That's actually better for Mariano than being on top, because he wasn't even coming close to turning them over. Now at least he can tie the match, with a takedown.
4-2. Grabenstatter is on top. And they're out of bounds. 45 seconds is left. See if he can get the upper hand here. Grabenstatter can ice the match with any kind of a move here.
If Grabenstatter takes him down, the match will be over, because he rode him very well in the second period.
Looks like he broke his headgear.
It snapped on both sides, and probably one snap came off.
You gotta have the headgear.
Headgear is a must. You'll notice while they're wrestling, if the headgear comes off, unless it's a crucial situation, they'll blow the whistle, stop it, and make them put it back on. And it's again, safety for the young men, and that's the intent of any rule that's made, and that's the intent the official has to enforce. There's some of these potentially dangerous holds. You say, well, why'd you call that? Why'd you call it? Well, it's to secure the safety and the health, I guess you want to say, of each wrestler.
And when you speak of safety, you think of Pulvinite, the toughest name in mats, offering a complete line of wrestling mats, well padding and reconditioned services to fulfill the need of any wrestling program. Each Pulvinite mat represents over 25 years of experience in producing consistently high-quality products. And when you think of safety, you think of Pulvinite. Sponsors of this 1987 New York State Wrestling Championships here at the War Memorial, and another great year here. Looks like it'll be around for a long time. The 18th year in Syracuse. It's the 25th anniversary of the Wrestling Championships in New York State.
They honored some of the wrestlers that were the first state champions here before the finals started. And it's a nice move. Again, an ankle pick, and he got the 2 points. Only 11 seconds to go in the match. It looks like
that'll ice it.
Dave Grabenstatter is going to be our 1987 champion.
10 seconds to go. It'll take a miracle to get back in it. They'll give him a point, and that'll end the match 6-3. Dave Grabenstatter will win the match. So the senior out of Buffalo is still undefeated this season. He's now 39-0, but this one is sweet victory for him, as he is the winner in the 177-pound weight class. The 1987 New York State Wrestling Championship award goes to Dave Grabenstatter. Section 8 versus Section 3 in the 215-pound weight class. From Section 8, the senior from Long Beach, New York, Long Beach High School, James Scotty Graham, up against the senior from Section 3 from C.W. Baker High School in Baldwinsville, Pat Halpin. And here they go at it.
Halpin was a runner-up last year at the 250-pound weight class. 1 point red. Technical violation. I don't know. I didn't quite see what they had done wrong, but Halpin gets a point for technical violation, and he's ahead 1-0.
Playing in front of the home crowd here.
Section 3 had two representatives, the 91-pounder and now the heavyweight, the light and the heavy of it.
Len Coombs from Section 3 in the 91-pound weight class was a loser earlier tonight to Frank Fraunhofer, 5-1. And here is the other Section 3 representative from C.W. Baker High School in Baldwinsville, 18-year-old Pat Halpin. And he's leading 1-0 in this match.
The official is Bob Stevenson, the referee, and the assistant referee is Jim Wild for this match.
Halpin's going to stay in Syracuse for 4 more years. He'll be attending Syracuse University next season. James Scotty Graham, determined young man from Long Beach. He is going to attend Ohio State University on a football scholarship. He's a high school All-American and an All-State tailback.
I don't know if I'd like to have that 200 pounds plus coming at me. Means he's got to be fast.
He's a big young man as well. A lot of action in this first period, but very little scoring. 1-0, Halpin's in front. And that was on a technical call.
A violation. I didn't see what had happened to call that, but the referee had signaled it and called a technical violation. 1 point for Pat.
Both wrestlers have been on their feet a lot so far in the first period. And they're going to call a stall there as a warning.
That's a stalling against James Scotty Graham. He's got to be more aggressive. See, the shots have all come from Halpin. And Graham, hasn't shot. Nice shot, low. As we speak, he takes a shot.
No points awarded yet. And they're going to give 2. Graham in the darker uniform, in the green uniform, representing Section 8, gets 2 points there. And he's ahead 2-1. He's a big boy.
They're both big.
Now the referees are talking with each other. What do you think they're saying right there, Doug?
I'm not so sure if he's talking about pushing him after the whistle blew out of bounds or whether that was a call or not.
Get a look at the crowd on hand. We had close to 7,000 people, I would imagine, here at the Memorial. A real good house.
It was real crowded. I think a lot of people are might be heading home. They come from all over the state. A wrestling following is a very loyal following, and if they're coming up here to watch their son or a team member, they follow them. And a lot of wrestlers come up just to watch it. Because they can learn something here. A lot of good wrestling going on.
Graham took him out of bounds, and now Pat Halpin, you look over at the scoring table, he wasn't really liking what was being called there.
He got 1 point for pushing him out of bounds, okay? That's another technical violation. That's another point. Now, if another technical violation happens, it's worth 2 points. And if it happens again, he loses by disqualification. That's how the penalty point system works.
Pat Halpin was a runner-up in the 250-pound weight class just a year ago, so he's looking to extend a good escape that time by Graham to get a point back, 3-2. Now he's going after Halpin like a man possessed. Look at that move, 2 more points.
That last call must have really aggravated him because he's going at it.
Well, he hadn't given up any points except for on technical calls. It wasn't anything that Halpin did to gain his 2 points. It's now 5-2. You're seeing a good one at 2:15.
Halpin's 34-1 and his 1 loss came earlier in the season, at which he avenged it today. He wrestled the same wrestler again today, and he beat him 8-7. That was McDowell from Section 2.
They're going to award 1 point now to Graham.
That was he had cautioned, the referee had cautioned Halpin earlier on a false start or starting before the whistle. And you get a caution, and next time you do it, it's a point.
6-2 now. Graham is in front. Minute 10 to go in the second period.
Halpin's trying to get those that hand control. I don't know quite sure what he's going to do with it. Looks like Graham's going to give him 1 point here.
If he makes an escape, he'll get a point on the
That's right. And Halpin wants to hang on to him and say, I don't want you to have one. I want to get two from you. Graham won out that one. He got the one.
So it's 6-3.
Be good for Halpin to get a takedown here. He needs to score some points.
Half a minute to go in the second period, 6-3. James Scotty Graham out of Long Beach High School in Long Beach, New York. Representing Section 8, the team leaders and soon-to-be winners of the 87 championships. Section 8's team firmly in front. Graham's win here would only solidify that. There's another.
There'll be another point on a false start. Yep, it's another point. Halpin's just trying to be a little over-aggressive here. Trying to get gain some type of advantage over Graham.
He's trailing by 4, 7-3 with 10 seconds to go in the period. Two wrestlers who have been going at it tonight.
They haven't, a lot of times heavyweights, they start to slow down and, not be nearly as impressive. These guys are impressing me. They both look quick and aggressive. They're working hard out there.
How much of a factor does fatigue play when you get up in the weight class?
I think it plays a little bit more because now you got to pull around. It's like dragging around 50 pounds versus 200 pounds. It's got to take a little bit more wear and tear out of you. But I think all these wrestlers are in excellent shape at this point of the season. That was a caution on green for a false start. Looks like both wrestlers are trying to gain as much advantage over the other one from the starting position as possible.
Without those two technical calls against Graham, Halpin wouldn't even be in this match. As it is right now, he's down 7-3.
Well, Halpin has also lost two technical violations against him. So really it would be, 5-1 without those two calls. The problem is the next one is worth 2 points on either one.
And they're going to call this
I think it should be 2.
Another stalling warning on Graham. The crowd doesn't like it, but Halpin's going to get a point nonetheless. It's 7-4 now. Should that have been 2?
I thought it should have been 2.
Oh, that was a warning. Let's see. The referee's going over to the scoring table.
It should be a 2. It should be 2 points.
They're saying 1 point over the table.
Okay, I'm wrong.
So it's 7-4 with a minute and a half to go. So Halpin still has a chance.
Well, he could. He's on the bottom, which means he can get at least a 2-point reversal. And I still think I'm right. He got a technical the first time. He got a technical for pushing him out of bounds. It should be 2 points.
Referees were over the table. They're satisfied with their call. So it's 7-4. And let's see if the senior out of C.W. Baker and Ballsville can get out of it. If Halpin can get a reversal here or get an escape anyway.
I must have been mistaken on the call in the first period. On what they called, because it should be 1, 1, and 2. They just put another point up there. I don't know quite why, but
Reed Hawk, the tournament chairman's over at the scoring table looking at the scoreboard, so we'll try and clear this up. Right now, we look at the wrestlers on the mat, and Halpin is trailing by 2 with 50 seconds to go.
Makes a difference. 2 points is different than 3 points.
And they're out of bounds.
On 1 clock, they've got 2.
This up. 7-5 on one scoreboard, 7-4 on the other. Now the referees are going back over the scoring table.
I love it when I'm right.
Yeah,
if I am right.
I think you are.
Because he got the 1 point in the first. On the, I wasn't sure what the one I didn't know about.
Warning.
Then they pushed him out of bounds, and then he had already warned him for stalling, and he just gave him a point, so it has to be 2 points. Well, the referees are conferring over at the table.
There you see him right there talking with the official scores, and Reed Hawk was also over there for a while.
It should be 7-5.
What are the wrestlers going through now during this break? Is it the timeout hurt them at all, not to getting right back into the action?
No, it probably helps them. They're probably, they're getting a little tired. There's only, 38 seconds to go. Halpin, that's a good move by Halpin. Now, he's down. He gets a reversal. It's tied, and it's sent in overtime.
7-5 is going to be the official score, and they're going over to talk to Graham's coaches.
I think they want to make sure everybody has a clear understanding, since it is a change.
I think they're telling him what you just told us. That,
right.
That it had to be a 2-point.
Now they're telling
score.
the wrestlers. They're explaining everything that went on, and coach just yells over to his wrestler Graham. You give him 1, not 2.
So he'll allow him for the escape, but he doesn't want to see a reversal here.
He should make sure he doesn't give any points. Nope,
there's 1 point, so it's 7-6 now with 30 seconds to go.
He could get hooked for stalling again.
Halpin just runs out of room there. Looked like he had control. 24 seconds to go in a 1-point bout.
It could make a difference here if he gets called for stalling again. I'd hate to have it, a match come down to that type of thing.
And they're going at it with 15 seconds to go. And they're out of bounds again, so they're going to go back to the center of the mat.
Out of bounds.
13 seconds to go.
Halpin's got to shoot here. He's got to shoot.
Some of the crowd on their feet. Let's see what happens.
Pat's got to do 1 shot. He's just got to try 1 desperation move. You might as well lose by 10 as by none.
That's the match. Graham holds on for the victory. James Scotty Graham, a senior out of Long Beach, New York, is the winner in the 215-pound weight class of the 1987 New York State Wrestling Championships here at the War Memorial. So the senior who will move on to football at Ohio State, an All-American, has done it. And he goes over with his coaches, who are just as excited as he is. Final bout on the card for the 1987 championships is in the 250-pound weight class from Section 4 from Union Endicott High School in Endicott, New York, Rob Cole, an 18-year-old with a 27-0 record. This year, 112-20 overall, up against Section 2's Kurt Tironi. Tironi has an 18-0 record and a 45-14 career record. A junior versus a senior, and we're underway.
Tironi has a nice, I saw him several times today, he's got a nice roll. He locks in that hand and does a nice job with it. He beat a couple of good wrestlers here earlier. He beat DeFrenzy, a technical fall, and Way from Section 7, 10-6. And he had a pin in the 3rd period.
Tironi from Section 2 is on the bottom right there in the maroon uniform with that white.
There's that. You see how he just popped him over there? That's Whoa.
We have a pin, maybe?
Yes.
Yes, a pin. Our first one and our last one of the match. Rob Cole from Section 4 pins his man. Let's see, 32 seconds, 42 seconds into the first period. And Rob Cole will wrap up his high school career with a pin to win the 1987 New York State Championships in the 250 weight class.
I guess that's the way to end your senior year and end this fine New York State wrestling tournament here.
Did he do that on a mistake, or what happened there?
I think he just, he took them down, and a lot of times the heavier guys have more trouble because you have to push off 240, 250 pounds off your back rather than something else.
Kurt Chironi, the winner from Section 2 on the 250 weight class, and we'll be back to wrap things up right after this.
And 2 and 3 and...
Could you save a life if you had to?
2.
Tens of thousands of all heart attack deaths could be prevented if everybody knew Red Cross CPR. That's why the Red Cross offers classes in this life-saving procedure. Not just at their local chapters, but right where you work. Learn how to save a life. Call the American Red Cross.
The silver anniversary edition of the 1987 New York State High School Wrestling Championships, and it's all over. We saw Jeff Prescott repeat as a 3-time winner, and for the first time, the Outstanding Wrestler Award goes to a freshman. He is Troy Bazakis from Section 9, and you got to be very excited.
Very excited. I'm really proud.
What went through your mind when the announcement came out that you actually won?
I was on cloud 9. I was real happy, and it's can't explain it. It's just I'm real happy. Real proud.
You won as an 8th grader. You won as a freshman in high school. Your career is just taking off. What are your thoughts as you head into your sophomore year?
Well, I'm just going to have to work a lot harder. Every year it's getting closer and closer to matches, so I'm just going to have to improve my skills and try to build on, what my skills are now.
Doug?
I was very impressed with your wrestling out there. You seem to have complete control. You never gave up, and you just kept on wrestling the whole time. Do you think it's going to be harder to keep on repeating, or you think that...
Yes, I think it's going to be difficult as time comes,
I got a quick question for you. How big are your parents?
My parents, they're not much taller than I am. They're average 5'5".
Okay, what I want to know is, do you think you're going to get much bigger? Do you think you're going to be up to...
Yes, I think I'm going to, outgrow my parents and perhaps be the biggest one in my family. And I want to grow, I want to get as big as possible, so,
Right.
Okay, Troy Brzakis, congratulations for the Outstanding Wrestler Award, and we'll be back to wrap things up right after this.
When you look into your heart, just let those feelings flow to warm and friendly faces and places we all know, taking pride in all we are, right here in Syracuse, we're the heart of New York.
The team standings finals in the 1987 New York State Wrestling Championship belongs to Section 8. They compiled 174 points. Section 4 finished in 2nd, Section 6 was 3rd, and Section 3 dropped down to finish in 4th. With us now is the chairman of the 1987 edition, the silver anniversary edition of the Wrestling Championships here at the War Memorial. And Reed Hawk, it's a pleasure again to talk with you, sir.
Thank you.
What about 25 years, and it looks like it's going to stay in Syracuse?
Yeah, it's found its home here, I think, and when it used to travel around in its early years from a school situation with bleachers, we really had no home. And then when it came here in 1968, the first time it was in a civic auditorium, the people loved it. They had a seat with a back, and it could be comfortable. And being in the center of the state, so many things were instrumental in keeping it here. The travel, the room rates, the whole situation just made it a good situation.
And this tournament here ran smoothly?
Yes, it was very well run, and I have a very good staff of people that, from the boys and the referees that helped man the tables from our local association, all the girls that run the charts. I could go on and on. Without these people, all the support staff, it really wouldn't be a tournament at all that would be one that everyone could say, yeah, it's a good tournament.
And a tournament with a silver lining had to be even more special.
Yes, and today, with the weather the way it was in Syracuse, and Neil Kerr locally gave us a big shot in the arm with a huge article on Thursday, and I think it got a lot of people out. We had good crowds this year, and last couple of years they were down, but the people were here.
Doug?
Reed, I think you deserve a big congratulations. I thought, again, this year's tournament was run very smoothly, and you can be proud of yourself and your staff to work so hard, and we're pleased in the wrestling community that you're doing such a great job.
Thank you. And you notice that we ended up being the perfect host again. 2 years in a row now, we have not had a local champion from Section 3, so
we'll
we
change
look
that.
forward to that.
We'll change that.
Okay, thank you very much, Reed Hawk, chairman of this year's 1987 New York State Wrestling Championships. And that'll about wrap it up here from the Onondaga County War Memorial. And we'll say so long from Syracuse, New York on McCaw Cablevision. Cable 13.